Proudly presented by Pence Homes and part of the Hitting the Hardwood podcast network. This is Link's Happy Hour. Yo, welcome back to another episode of Link's Happy Hour. My name is Terry Horstman. I host the show, and I'm thrilled to be joined by my friend and colleague on the Links beat, Travis Singleton, aka Sneaker Reporter. Travis, we sit next to each other in the back row of the press area of every Links game. We were there last night when some history was made. But first, how are you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I only get up for Terry. I just want you to know that, man. I only get up early for you, man. So, that shows true love right there.
I love how it's like 11:30 in the morning right now, but I appreciate it. I'm not a morning person either, so no shame. I was just looks like I will officially be at game 2 in San Jose, which
Nice,
unfortunately is
nice.
not in. I guess we'll find out if Valhalla travels, but I was looking forward to seeing the Chase Center, one of the new crown jewels of basketball arenas in the country. But you
Yeah,
know, schedules are going to schedule, I guess. But I was just telling my editor, I was like, just nothing too ungodly in the morning, please, as he was booking my flights. But
yeah.
we got everything arranged, and I don't have to get up too early. But still, it's
Good,
still
man.
a.m., so it's still the morning, and I appreciate you.
No, for
um
sure.
we obviously have to start with the absolute, historical achievement that we saw last night. Nafisa
Yeah,
Collier placing herself in basketball immortality by achieving the 50-40-90 line, the only WNBA player to do it, uh, not named Elena Deladun, and the first ever to do it, and also score 20 plus points
20
per game. And
points. Yep, yep.
he did it in two more games than Deladun did in 2019. There's not really any way you can try and downplay this or diminish this. Just uh,
Yeah,
how special of a season is this from Phee, man? We've been saying it all year, but just
yeah.
like look at that stat line now that the regular season is official. It just feels crazy.
I mean, it's something special. One thing that I did notice, obviously, we didn't know that that was a goal of hers, right? But I did
Right?
notice
Yeah.
that she was more aggressive from the 3 point line all season, right? Taking more attempts, making sure that she was able to expand her game a little bit more. Obviously, we know the mid range, we know inside, you know, but her going out there and knocking down the three at that type of clip, that's
Mm-hmm.
extremely impressive. And the work that she's putting in. It doesn't go unnoticed. A lot of people know what Fee's gonna give them, right? She's like reliable, like Tim Duncan. You know what you're getting with Tim Duncan every night. And I feel like Fee's the same way. Fundamentals are on point. Comes to the game with full respect for everybody. Comes in, clocks out. And she just does it every single night. And she's the type of player that if I'm starting a team, I'm drafting Nafisa Collier first. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's the pinnacle of what you want your team and what you want the image of your team to be. And when she comes in and puts in the work like she did, and she put the team on her back this year and said, "We're on this revenge tour, so just come with me," you know. So the fact that she was able to do that, the numbers speak for itself, man. I mean, that's a prestige club, and to be the
Mm-hmm.
second player, I know she's extremely thrilled, and obviously she talked about it with us last night. But I don't want anybody to water it down, and I'm gonna kind of go off for a
Yeah.
second because a lot of these Aces fans, talking about, oh well, she's sitting out games so that she can get the numbers, I don't want to hear that crap from none of y'all, okay?
She didn't have the
Because
numbers when she was sitting out games.
and, and that's
She
what
had to
and
come
that's
back. She had to come back. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, So I need them
The
to
dumbest
to
thing
to
ever.
calm. I need them to calm down and just respect greatness when they see it. Right in the beginning, I'm a
Yeah.
Celtics fan. I did not like Kobe in the beginning, but then I had to respect his greatness. Right, he just
Mm-hmm.
gets it done. So at the end of the day, like I think these Aces fans that are trying to clamor over the MVP race, they got to calm down a little bit. And at the end of the day, Fee's done something remarkable, and it's not done. And I'm pretty sure, And I'm pretty sure if we talked to her and asked her, we'll be like, "Hey, which MVP is more important, the season MVP or the Finals MVP?" She's gonna say the Finals MVP is more important.
Of course.
So that's the end goal. But at the end of the day, they can't water down the greatness that we have seen this year.
This episode of Links Happy Hour is brought to you by Pence Homes. The team at Pence Homes has experience working with first-time home buyers, folks selling their first home and buying their next place, to people looking to downsize. With the best tools, technology, and trusted vendors to help with any home project, Pence Homes is a top choice for buyers and sellers. For more info and to set up a time to meet with Nate and the team to talk about your home buying or selling needs, visit pencehomes.com. That is Pence, PENTZHOMES.com. Right. And I mean, it was remarkable even before she went 3 of 4 from behind the arc last night to get like it's still like if you go 50 38 and 90 that's still crazy.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't think she like maybe some I can tell you that the end of season award ballots were due basically 30 minutes ago from this
yeah,
conversation at noon Eastern time on Friday morning, September 12th. So I don't know if anyone I handed in my ballot before the game, and there was nothing that was going to happen in that game that was going to change my vote to make
yeah, yep,
Phee MVP. I did not
yep.
write MVP in the ballot. I kept it professional. But yeah, I don't know if anyone was waiting till the 11th hour to hand anything in, just be like, oh, like she's got to get it. But yeah, man, like it's something that that's not a achievement that you can bullshit. Like you
Yeah,
you can't just be like, all right, I'm gonna take it easy and like
yeah. I mean,
coast
come on.
for a week or a month
Yeah,
and do it. She was the first person to do it at the level she was doing it at, like through the first quarter of this season, like at the
yeah,
beginning. So
yep.
like there's no like one like, oh, Fee's like the MVP because of like this stretch or whatever. She was Western Conference Player of the Month
Yeah.
for every month that she didn't miss significant time. And like, yeah, it's just it got closer, but it's still not an argument for me.
I'm in the
And
same
yeah,
boat
this
as
kind of
you.
happened. This happened last year when Phee got Defensive Player of the Year, and like no one was even trying to take anything away from Asia, but
Yeah.
like Becky Hammond and others were just like, oh, if you have to start going down all these crazy rabbit holes to make your argument, and it's it's like what rabbit holes? Like best defensive player on the best defensive team, like number one defensive rating,
I mean,
like and
yeah,
like all of these numbers that were like, oh, you can this is front page basketball reference shit. Like anyone who can
yeah,
use it, like you like the lowest level of basketball literacy can find this information.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like you're making some kind of like 300-page Moneyball argument. And that's kind of like the tone that side of the argument's taking again this year, that it's like
Yeah,
it would be crazy to vote Nafisa Carr. I mean, like, no, it's not crazy. It's not
yeah.
crazy for
I
anyone who's watched the entire,
yeah.
it's an entire season award. It's not the stretch run award, though it is very impressive that the Aces climbed out of that hole and got all the way to 2. We'll talk about
It
that in a
is
little bit.
it is impressive. I will say one last thing about this situation. Only thing that I would even consider listening to is if they say, "Oh, well, she missed a significant amount of games." I'd be like, "Okay,
Yeah.
maybe." But the numbers that she still put up, even in that
Yeah.
stretch of games that were missed and the ones she played, there's no question in my mind, my heart, that it's Nafisha's, it's
Right.
MVP, and we standing on that until further notice.
Right. And I can't stand the argument like when she first went out after that Aces game and the Lynx won, like their next 5 or something after that.
Yeah,
And that's when, because people move the goalpost award with this like all the time, where it's
yep,
like, okay, it's most valuable. Really, I do think of this as like like in college basketball, it's the most outstanding player. I do
Yeah.
think the way we interpret this is most outstanding because, yeah, the Lynx would be good, still good without Phee in there because it is a well constructed, well put together team with the greatest
Yeah.
coach ever. Like you can't punish Phee
You can't be
for
mad at
that.
that.
Like,
Yeah, you can't be
yeah,
mad
that
at that.
she's part of a competent organization that has done a lot of good things and didn't take the first 3 months of the season off. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, we gotta talk a little bit about like the sort of the matchup specifically. Uh,
Yeah.
Lynx go 4-0 against the Valkyries throughout the season. Obviously, the earlier games, Valks lots of injuries.
Yeah.
It kind of kept feeling like, okay, this is where the Cinderella story ends. Still amazing what they've done in just their
Yeah.
first year. At losing Kayla Thornton especially, but they just endured, and now they are the Lynx opponent in the playoffs, and the Lynx obviously aren't going to take them lightly, but just we just watched them. They get to stay in Minneapolis and chill,
Yeah.
so they'll like and practice and stuff, but they didn't have to get up and get on a flight at like after the game, get somewhere at like 3 a.m. or anything like that. So they'll be rested, refreshed, and ready to go on
Yeah.
Sunday at noon. Which Sunday, if you haven't seen the news yet, Sunday at noon is when Game 1 tips off. Just how do you feel about this series? Looking at it as we head in from the last game of the season into the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah, obviously, hell of a season for them. I think this is an accomplishment in itself. I mean, for an expansion team to just come in and do what they've done, right? You're going against a well-oiled machine that's pissed off right now, though. And
Mm.
I'm just being honest. The revenge tour, just like Letitia said last night. I mean, they want to get back to that WNBA finals, and I don't think they're gonna let anybody get in the way. Um, the injuries have definitely hurt them, obviously, throughout the year. Thornton, and then even with Tiffany Hayes had a couple of good games and different things like
Right.
that for them. She had a good stretch. So it's just more so just the Lynx in this round. I feel like it's the Lynx would beat themselves. That's the only that's the only chance that
Right.
they would have. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Fee's gonna come in locked down and locked in on the game in the series. I think Kayla's gonna come out. I think this is gonna be a Bridget series though, in my opinion. I
Oh,
just think
hell yeah.
that I really do. I just think that some of the opportunities that are gonna be presented to her, because they're gonna give K Mac a lot of attention. They're gonna give Courtney a lot of attention. They're gonna give Fee a lot of attention. And I think some of those shots that Bridget hasn't been able to hit on a consistent basis throughout the year, I think that those opportunities will be presented to her in the series. And I feel like if she just knocks them down, I think we could see some big games from Bridget.
If BC's hot, I don't think any team has a chance. Like
Yeah.
you're talking to the founder and president and card carrying member of the Bridget Carlton fan club.
Yes. Yes.
And I've had meltdowns throughout this whole year when people have been like, she's not playing great, just look at the 3-point percentage, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
look at everything else. If it's the point, like if BC is these games and she's like 3 for 4, 5 out of 7
Yeah.
from deep, and it's unless everyone has like their worst offensive nights, like we saw in Indianapolis on Tuesday nights. Like I don't
Yeah.
know how you beat this team if the number 4, number 5, number 6 scorer can't miss from 3.
Yeah.
But especially like game 1, on the record from her multiple times, K-Mac loves the day game.
Yeah.
Loves to wake up, and the first thing you do is go play.
Yep.
So we always like our conversations, you, me, Andrew, and whoever else is around us, chatty
Yeah.
Cathy's, yeah, in the press area.
Yep.
Just kind of with the vibes, it's like, does this feel like a K-Mac game? Does this feel like a Courtney game? So I think I'm going to put it out early that I think Sunday afternoon will be a K-Mac game.
It's gonna be a K Mac
And
game.
I wouldn't be
Now,
surprised if everyone plays well, but I think, and we mentioned K-Mac was getting a little hot with, she got a technical foul 11 seconds into the third quarter last
yeah.
night. The Lynx didn't. I got to pull up the box score from last night just because I need to
Yeah.
confirm, because we looked. It wasn't until really late. Yeah, the Lynx shot. Okay, that's third quarter only. Sorry. This is
Now you
this is
good.
me when I'm looking stuff up. Um, the Lynx didn't shoot a free throw until the third quarter,
Yeah,
and they only shot one. And on the night, they ended up shooting nine. Valkyrie's 15. So the three free throw disparity wasn't as crazy as we've seen in some W games
for
this
sure.
year and kind of for always. But the Valks had shot like 11 free throws before the Lynx shot their first free throw.
Yeah,
And they called a ticky tack one on Mac early in that third quarter.
she
And
was pissed.
she picks up the check right away. We're like, all right, all right, here she comes.
Yep.
The run came a little bit later, but if you get
Yeah.
Matt and A K-Mac, uh, yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think she's gonna, play incredible, and I'd
Yeah.
expect a pretty motivated Lynx team on this Sunday afternoon.
Me too, me too. And you know, I'm the president, founder, co-captain, whatever you want for K Max Club. Like I ride for K Mac. I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
I've always been that way. Ever since, I first reached out to her, even when she was at Notre Dame. Like it's always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always gonna ride for her. And I would love to see a good K Mac series. I mean, I just think that this is the series for the others, the ones that have really been putting in the work, like the Natishas, the Bridgets. I think this is going to be that series where they're going to be able to showcase, what they've been actually enduring over the last stretch, right? Where they've been gaining more
Mm-hmm.
playing time, they've been gaining more confidence. I think this is one of those series that helps set up things for down the road when you try to get to the WNBA finals and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, we're all in a rhythm now. And I think that, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, Golden State's just running into a buzzsaw right now, and hell of a season. But I just
This
don't
is
really
yeah.
see nothing coming out that way. I will say this: their bright spot. I do love Veronica Burton. I love her game.
Yep.
She is amazing to watch. I think if they have a slither of a chance to even try to steal a game, she has to be a lot more aggressive offensively. You could just
Mm-hmm.
tell she's looking for her teammates a little bit too much. So I feel like if she can actually offensively take over a game and be able to try to really, maybe if she had like a 20-10 game type of thing, I think they would actually have a chance.
Yeah, Veronica Burton. That's my pick for most improved player, and I think a lot of people's picks
Yeah,
for most improved player.
yeah.
So we haven't seen Dijonay the last few games,
Mm-hmm.
and we when we were let in at shoot around, it was the majority of shoot around was over. We don't
Okay.
get to see Cheryl draw upsets or anything like that. Um, but the players were doing, like the half court shot competition that everyone does.
Yeah.
And Dijonay was participating in that. I can confirm.
Okay.
She had practice jersey on, shoes on, headband on, like looked like this is what Dijonay looks like when she's playing basketball.
Yeah.
And we talked to, usually we get an assistant coach after shoot around. We got Eric,
Yep.
and I said, is it fair to say that Dijonay was a full participant in shoot around today? And he said no, real quick.
Yep.
Got to not committing to any timelines, but she's progressing. She's progressing,
Yeah.
and or making progress was the exact way that he phrased it. But I think, how important is it, I guess, to say something like 100%, like no one's 100% at this point of the year. Everyone just played
Yeah.
44 games, but to have her healthy and able to go and do the things that Dijonay does, how much of a difference does that make if she's able to play, those 20-25 minutes off the bench in game one versus if the Lynx have to navigate the early part of this playoff run without her?
Yeah, I do want to confirm too. Yesterday she was shooting pregame. She was on the court.
Yep.
She was shooting and she was warming up. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to confirm that too. I'm with you. Um, Dejanay, man. First of all, I mean, I know she's been with us for a while now, but hell of a steal for Cheryl to get. I mean, going into the end of the season, I mean, that's a steal, damn. But the things that she does for you defensively, right? She
Mm-hmm.
suffocates you, right? And when you have a defensive player that can suffocate and basically say, "This is my person, move out the way," and she's
Yeah.
that type of person. So when you have somebody that can actually be like, okay, we're gonna put this person, we're gonna put Dejanay on this person, and they're not gonna do anything for the rest of the night. Okay, let's focus somewhere else. That's the type of confidence that she deserves and she earns. And when you play against a team like the Valkyries, where last night they're all about ball movement. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dejanay's up there with ball deflections. Like she's always in the passing lanes. She's always gonna make sure that she's actually in there, making sure she's making a difference. You know, she's really a terror on the
Mm.
defensive end. And if you notice about her game, her defense gets her offense going. So when she gets those easy transition buckets, or even if she's setting up for somebody else on her team, right? Like she's bringing it down the court, and then she'll find a Phee, or she'll find even like a Jess or something like that. I feel like her and Jess got a good chemistry going. But I think when it comes to this series, like you can put her in there for 20 minutes off the bench and be like, hey, just give us what you got. And then her shooting
Yeah.
ability from the 3 point as well has improved. So that's another thing. So just adding her to this team was just like a chef's kiss. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I think that she's gonna be. I feel like she doesn't have to make that big impact in this series, but she's gonna. I think Cheryl got her for the series leading down, like when they get to where they're getting close to where they need to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to overlook any opponents or anything, but defensively, like I said, she's a two-way player. So her and K Mac in the same lineup, I don't want to play defense. I don't even want to play offense against them. Like I'm trying to stay away. You know.
Right.
So those two are ball hawks, and to be able to have that type of perimeter defender that can actually play off of K Mac that way too, like that's special right now.
Right. And I'm just thinking back to her first game with the Lynx was that game at Seattle when she had that great chase down block and then
Yeah.
converted the three at the other end to essentially seal it. And Cheryl said, but wasn't trying to overwhelm her with, Lynxies or the things that the Lynx do differently than everyone else. She said, just go play basketball.
Yep.
And well, I think you're always trying to strike the right balance between simplicity and like preparedness. But Dejanay is like the type of player too. It's like, all right, go in there and make life hell for Veronica Burton. Like
There
just
you
just
go. Yep.
that if you do, and Cheryl was talking about this pregame last night about kind of the way people understand their one and their two, where the one is the thing they do best and the two is the thing they do second best. And if a thing comes up and it's not your one and your two, then why you're doing it. Obviously with exceptions made, like if you're not a 3-point shooter but you're heaving it up at the end of the shot clock, that's fine. That happens occasionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just say, all right, Nay, you're one. Just ruin Veronica Burton's life out there right now. And if
Yep.
that's all you do, that drastically increases the
Yeah.
the chances of, especially if it's in there with the second unit. We'll see how. I'm very anxious to see how Natalie staggers her lineups in this first playoff series as a head coach, and shown herself to be a hell of a coach in
Yeah.
this season with the
Yeah.
Velks. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be great basketball. Are you ready
Yeah.
to make an official prediction on how this series will go? I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I know which way you're gonna go, and I think I know where I'm gonna go. But let's hear from
uh,
you. Who you got?
nah, I think the Lynx are gonna sweep them. I think they'll sweep
Yep.
them. I don't see anything getting in the way of them sweeping. I mean, the roster is stacked from top 8 to 9, can easily play on any team in the W.
Right.
And the way that I gotta give so much love and credit to Cheryl for building this roster the way that she did. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people gave her some hell over the last couple of years with oh, you should have got this person, or you should have got that person. But the way that she's constructed this team and this core, I think this core is pissed off. I think they're ready for the revenge tour. I think they've been ready to just steamrolling teams, and I think that the Valkyries just ran into a buzzsaw that is ready to come. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see all 5 of the starters in double figures for Sunday's game. Like that's how locked in I think they are, and I think that
Yep.
this team's just been ready for the moment, and I don't see the Valkyries getting in the way. That's why I said they had a hell of a season. If they get one, I will be stunned. But
Mm-hmm.
I just think that the way that Fee's playing, the way that Natisha's playing, the way that this team is built, they care about each other, the chemistry. I don't see anything stopping them on this playoff run. and I definitely don't see the Valkyries being the team that I'm worried about.
Right. What you just said.
Thank you,
I
thank you.
also got that. Links in two. Perhaps not as emphatically as I felt last year when they played Phoenix and wouldn't need to travel. If
Yeah,
if winning the first two games, I do think that is a wrinkle. Um, but I'm not writing off this Valkyries home atmosphere just because it's at SAP Center and not at Chase. Like first home playoff game in the history for this franchise, I'm sure.
I got it. Yeah,
Brandon Pajemski is going to be center courtside, giving every Lynx player as much shit as he can find to throw. I know George Kittle had a hell of a time courtside recently. He just went on the injured list, so he doesn't have anything to do. George Kittle might be there,
yeah,
causing a
yeah,
ruckus courtside. We'll see what other Bay Area elite athletes show up.
yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Well, I'm assuming
And
Steph's gonna pull up, so Steph got some time.
Steph does have some time. I'll stay on Steph watch the whole time for you. If I see him, I'll be sure to say hello. He'll
Okay.
he'll recognize me. Um, yeah, that's gonna be. So I think you really do. Even though the Valks have gotten off to good starts in games against the Lynx earlier this year,
Yeah,
I don't think you do not want to let that crowd get even bigger than it
yeah,
is, coming in. Like if there's like if the Valkyries start on like a 12-2 run in the first quarter, it is going to be hard to try and take that crowd out of it. You might not
yeah,
be able to take the crowd out of it completely, but you like Jordan said, walking out, to on the court in Indianapolis against the Pacers, to that chorus of boos and just like let's give them something to boo about. You
there you
got to
go.
give them something to boo about.
Yep.
Make them make angry sounds and not
Yeah.
happy sounds, and I think this will go well for the Lynx.
I
Real
think it's a
quick,
statement. They got to make a statement. That's the biggest thing. I think they got to make a statement. And I think just to pinpoint on that, I think if they had Kayla Thornton still, if they had a couple other pieces that were out there
yeah,
still, maybe we're talking about them stealing one.
for
But
sure,
with them being riddled a little bit, I feel like the crowd might. Fee's played in front of millions of fans. Like
yeah,
the Olympics was worthy enough of her being in a big crowd. You know what I'm saying? So I don't
right.
know.
Not worried about them getting intimidated by that,
Yeah,
by no means, but just
nah,
it'll be an intense atmosphere. All
for
right,
sure.
rapid fire style. The other series, the 2-7 Aces Storm. Who do you got?
I got the Aces. Got the
Me
Aces.
too.
I think that they're just look. You got to be hot going into the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously this win streak is crazy. The way that Asia's playing has been crazy. I give her credit. Um, I just think that the Aces are gonna. I think they'll get it done.
Me too. All right. The 3-6 Dream Fever. Who you got?
I'm going Dream. I'm going
We're in
Dream.
lockstep. Yeah, I think Fever, as good as they looked on Tuesday night, too many injuries,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
the
agree.
Dream could just do too many things well. And the one that will probably get the most hype out of all of this, the 4-5, which is always a very good matchup, but Mercury Liberty. Who you got?
I'm gonna surprise everybody. I'm going Mercury.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go Mercury.
this is where we'll divide. I'll take the Liberty, but I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah,
And it would be very interesting if the Lynx Liberty rematch took place in the semifinals, and because I don't think the Liberty are reaching the finals. There's just too much stacked against them. But
yeah,
if the Liberty are the lowest, seeded team to win, they will play the Lynx,
yeah,
assuming that we are correct on the Lynx as well.
for sure.
Yeah, because it would feel like the finals, but you would still have the finals to play after should you win. So
Yeah,
that would be a very interesting development in the quote unquote revenge tour.
for
Um,
sure. I
but
don't know.
yeah,
I
it's
just
going to
feel
be a lot
like
of fun.
with yeah, I don't know. I just feel like with AT, I think she's having a great
Yeah,
year, and then they're getting healthy at the right time, right?
yeah,
Copper's back. Satu. they're starting to get like in the rhythm now. So, so we'll see.
We will. It's gonna be fun. Every series is gonna be fun. It all starts Sunday, high noon at Target Center. The first game of the day, first game of the slate, first game of the postseason, regular season. That's done. All
Yep,
about the playoffs now. It's win or go
that's
home.
it. It's a new
Travis,
season.
thanks so much for hopping on, for getting up early and getting this done. It's not even noon. It's not even noon yet. It's still in the morning. Look at us
It is.
being productive on a Friday morning. And
Yeah.
I will see you a lot over the next few weeks.
You will. You will. Yep, you will.
All right. Thanks as always, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you once again to my guy, Travis Singleton, aka Sneaker Reporter. You can find him everywhere, sneakerreporter.com, and on the socials at Sneaker Reporter. Shout out to Pence Homes, Fantasy Sports Evo, Homage, Firehawk Construction, and of course, Mitchell Hansen, Hitting the Hardwood Podcast Network, Andrew Dukowitz of the Missing Links podcast. Be sure to tune into and take in all of the great content that we're generating for you folks here at Hitting the Hardwood as we gear up for this playoff push. It's going to be a good one. So excited to be working on a bunch of this stuff with you all. We'll have new episodes every week. Andrew will continue to have shows after every game. And be sure to check out my written shit at the next, which will keep popping up here and there. It's a little more than just weekly now that we're in the playoffs. I don't know if bi-weekly is the word. Bi-weekly, I've been told a million times, means twice a week. And also means every other week. It will be twice weekly, at the very least, twice a week, over at thenexthoops.com, and follow us everywhere at the 9 Basketball. That's at the IX Basketball, spelled the usual way, on all the socials. And yeah, and you can follow me at Terry Horseman on the things, at Terrence Horseman on Instagram. And yeah, you've been the best Lynx fans. It's been an incredible regular season, and can't wait for us all to make more memories together here in the postseason. This is Lynx Happy Hour. Thank you so much for tuning in and for rocking with the show. I have been Terry Horseman. You have been excellent Lynx fans. Appreciate you more than you could ever know.